Okay, so today we will do one problem based on the whatever we discussed Faraday's law and also the different scenarios where we have the moving loop and static B field and also static loop and moving field, that magnetic field, and also both moving. Okay, so that is time varying field and the moving loop. So let us consider one problem, such problem, how we can find out the EMF induced. Okay, so take this problem. So consider the loop shown, so in the figure we will show. Okay, shown in figure below. So where we have B equal to 0.5 AZ, okay, Weber per meter square, and so we have R equal to 20 ohm and L equal to 10 centimeter, and the rod is moving with a constant velocity of 8 AX, that is in the X direction it is moving meter per second. So now we need to find, so what is the induced EMF? So, okay, so induced EMF in the rod, and we have to find out the current. Okay, so the current through the resistor. Okay, so next we have to find out motional force on the rod, and also we have to find out the power dissipated in the resistor. Okay, so where we have the scenario, so yesterday we have seen, so we have the constant, the magnetic field. Okay, so on the rails, so the rod is moving. Okay, so the distance which is L. Okay, so where we have the magnetic field which is in the Z direction, so that is given 0.5 AZ. Okay, so B it is going into this direction, that is Z direction. So now we have this Y and this is X direction. Okay, so the constant, the rod is moving with a constant velocity which is 8 AX. Okay, so that is in this X direction. So now we have to find out what is the current which is induced, or current through, sorry, this is EMF induced on the rod. We have to find out EMF, and there is a resistor here, so we have to find out the current through that resistor. Okay, so this is what the problem is. We have to find out the EMF induced and the current through the resistor, and also the force. Okay, so the motional force on the rod, and also power dissipated in the resistor. So this is what we have to find out. So now from yesterday, so this scenario we have seen, so we can find out what is the EMF induced, okay, on the rod, so which is integral of U cross B. So that is the velocity of the rod and magnetic field, so over the differential length. So now we can see here, so the length is varying from 0 to L. Okay, so that is the between these two rails the rod is moving. Okay, so now we know that the cross product of two vectors, which is magnitude of, so two vectors, sine of angle between them. So now you can see here, so it is moving in X direction, the rod is moving in X direction with a velocity U which is equal to 8 AX, and the B is magnetic field which is in the Z direction, which is perpendicular to the motion of the rod. So that the sine theta, the theta which is angle between the B and the U, so which is equal to 90 degree. So that will become 1. So we have left out with the magnitude of U and magnitude of B. And if I integrate this dl over the distance here L, so I will going to get L. Okay, So now this is what EMF which is induced on the rod. So now we know U, which is equal to 8 magnitude of the velocity, which is given by 8 AX. So into the magnetic field, which is 0.5 magnitude of B, and the L. So L is given by 10 centimeter. So 10 into 10 power minus 2. So now you can calculate what is the EMF induced. So what is the value? So it is 1 into 8, 80 into 0.5, 40. So 40 into 10 power minus 2, so which is equal to 0.4 volts. So this is the EMF which is induced. Okay. So now we know the current calculation. So the current through the rod, which is the induced EMF. So through that, so the resistor, induced EMF by resistor. So which is 0.4 divided by 20 ohm. So this will give, so around, so we can write 400 milli divided by 20, so which is equal to 20 milliampere. This is the current through the rod, sorry, current through the resistor. Okay, the EMF induced on the rod we have found out, the current through the resistor we have found out. So now we need to know again the force which is on the rod. So how much force which is motional force on the rod, so that we know from the equation, that is Fm, which is equal to IL cross B. Okay, so or we can, so the cross product of this, so we can take and we will get it the answer. So this will be equal to, so I we have find out, that is 0.02. Okay, so this into, so the B which is actually 0.5 AZ, and the length, so which is in the direction of Y. Okay, so this movement, it is in the direction of Y, so that will take it as 10 centimeter, which is 0.1 in the direction of AY. Okay, so then again the cross multiplication of 0.5 AZ. Okay, so this is what we are going to get. So this is, so minus 0.5 because it is going into the, so into the page. So now we can see here, so we can get it, the result it as 0.02. So if you multiply these magnitudes, you will going to get, so minus 0.05. So AY cross AZ, so that will give minus AX. Okay, so this is what you will going to get. So that is 0.02 into 0.05 in the direction of AX. So now we can find out what is the force. So what is the value? So that is 2 into 10 power minus
1 into
2.
10 power minus.
What?
1 into 10 power minus 3 into
10 power minus
3.
Yeah, so 5 into 2, 10. 10 into 10 power minus 4, which is equal to 1 milli-Newton in the direction of AX. So that is what you will going to get. This is a force, and finally you can calculate what is the power. So generally we know that equation, which is I square R. So that is 20 milli whole square into resistance 20 ohm. So we can get that. So 20 into 20, 400 into 10 power minus 6 into 20. So 8000 into 10 power minus 6, or we can write 8 milliwatt. That is what we will going to get. Okay, so this is about the problem, how we can able to find out. Okay, so now we will move to the next concept. So that is displacement current. Okay, so now what is meant by displacement current, we will see. First we will take the Maxwell's curl equation. We have already, so for the electrostatic case, so we have modified the static fields into the time varying fields. So that we already know, that is del cross E. So from the Faraday's law we got it as del B by del T. So that by taking the divergence into curl equation and applying Stokes theorem, we got this one. Now we will see how the magnetic field or static magnetic field can be applied to time varying field. So that is by using the Ampere's circuit law. So now if we take the static EM field, so we know that del cross H, which is equal to J. Okay. So now let us take equation number 1. So this is already we have done the Maxwell's equation. Okay. So now if the divergence, if I take, so both side divergence of this, so which is equal to del dot J. Okay. So but we know the divergence of this curl of the vector, which is equal to 0. Okay. So this is actually should become 0. Okay. So let us take this equation 2. But so this equation, if I put 0 because of this divergence of the curl of a vector, but we know del dot J, which is in terms of the volume charge density, that we know, which is nothing but del rho V by del T. Okay. This is from continuity equation, so where we have already derived it. So now if I put this condition, so since this is not equal to 0, so that equation is invalid. Okay. So that's why we need to modify the equation so that this actual equation where it satisfies the divergence of the curl of vector should become equal to 0. So that's why we need to modify the equation 2, so in such that, or modify equation 1, so such that this condition, that the divergence of the curl of vector equal to 0, so that should satisfy. So that's why, so this equation 2 and 3 are incompatible. So in order to do that, so we'll introduce one term, so that is del cross H, which is equal to J plus JD. So that is, so this term, which is called as displacement current density. Displacement current density. So now we have to define this displacement current density. Okay. So when, so this equation again, if I take the curl of, that is divergence of this equation, okay, so which is equal to del dot J plus JD. Okay. So now if I write this one, del dot J plus del dot JD. So now if I equate this one to 0, okay, so this will also, it will become 0. In order to satisfy this equation, so we will get del dot J or del dot JD, which is equal to minus of del dot J. Okay. So in order to satisfy this equation, so this should be modified, and this del dot JD, which is become equal to minus del dot J. Okay. So that we know from this equation, equation 3, so that if you replace that one, you will going to get del rho V by del T. Okay. So that is the equation we have to modify according to this equation. So that is by taking the divergence in order to satisfy this condition. So we are taking this, so that displacement current density, which is equal to, so this one. Okay. So now we have to determine or define this displacement current density. Okay. So whenever this equation 3, so that is, it should satisfy, so we have to equate this one. Okay. So that, so now we, from the Gauss law, we know that, so this rho V, which is equal to del by del T of, so that is del dot D. So this well known result, del dot D, which is equal to rho V, and if I take the del outside, we will going to get del D by del T. So now you can observe this equation and this equation, both are divergence equations. Okay. So now we can write that one, JD, which is equal to del D by del T. Okay. And also D, which we know, which is in terms of the electric field, which is epsilon naught E. Okay. So that is displacement current when it is coming, whenever there is a time varying field, that is time varying electric field. So that is what important, and this one is the major contribution for this equation, so the modified equation of the Maxwell. So this is introduced by the Maxwell. So we can write that del cross H, which is equal to J plus del D by del t. So this is the equation for the time varying field. Whenever we take the magnetic field, so this is governed by the time varying electric field. Okay, so this is major contribution of the Maxwell's equation, so in this time varying field. Okay, so now this displacement current, so whatever we take, so at the time of the Maxwell which he derived, so the high frequency sources was not there. So even at low frequency, what will happen? At low frequency, so this conduction current, so which actually dominates the displacement current at low frequency. That's why this JD is almost negligible at low frequency. Okay, negligible at low frequency. But when we go to higher frequency, that is RF and microwave frequency, okay, so this JD is comparable to the conduction current. So the displacement current which is comparable to the conduction current. So that's why we should not neglect, and we have to consider at higher frequencies and even for the time varying case. So at the time of Maxwell, whatever he introduced, only the theoretical verification he has done, but the experimental verification he has not done because of the non-availability of the higher. So that is at higher frequency there is no availability of the source. So that's why only theoretically he introduced the term. But whenever the practical scenario, so it is later Hertz it is discovered. That is the Hertz is experimented. So the propagation of electromagnetic waves, until unless there is a displacement current, so in the time varying field, so there is no the propagation of electromagnetic waves possible. So after introducing it, so the Hertz experimented practically the electromagnetic so waves, the propagation happens. So when there is a time varying field with respect to this displacement current. Okay, so now so we'll see how actually we'll take the two cases and we'll define the displacement current actually based on this displacement current density. So we know the current so relation with the current density, which is the integral of J so d dot ds over the surface. Okay, so this is displacement current, so with respect to, so when we take the displacement current density over the surface, and also we can write, so this JD which is nothing but del D by del T dot ds. Okay, so this is what the displacement current. So now if we take an example how we can describe this displacement current. So let us take a capacitor and a conductor where the current it is flowing through a loop. Okay, so the closed path L. Okay, so now we know the equation for this, the closed loop where the current carrying conductor it is there. So we have H dot dl. Okay, so which is equal to the current enclosed by that loop. Okay, so that we know. So from the equation, popular equation of this the magnetic loss, or we can have this, so J dot ds, that is the current density, the conduction current density, because of the static nature. So now if we take the similar case, so if I assume this closed path which is the surface 1, okay, so if I take this as a surface 1, so the current enclosed which is equal to the integral of over the surface, that the current density dot ds. Okay, so this is from so well known law. And now if we consider current through a ball, so which actually passes through this capacitor. Okay, so this surface, so let us take this surface S. Okay, so again closed path L which is there and the current which is flowing. So this surface if I take, okay, S2 which is actually passing through the capacitor. Okay, so where I, so the current through the conductor which is going and the surface which is passing through the capacitor. So now we can see here, so since there is no, so the conduction current on this surface, we can write this H dot dl which is equal to I, that is equal to 0. Okay, So since only the conduction current exists which is on the conductor, so this on this surface which is equal to 0. But if we take in this case the surface 1 which encloses the current, so that is equal to the I enclosed. So that's why, so this equations so need to be modified so that, so there is a, in this case there is a displacement current. So now to resolve this one, so in this case where the J equal to 0 and in this case where JD equal to 0. So that's why, so we have to modify the equation such that, so where there is H dot dl which is equal to, so on the surface 2 J dot ds, so which is nothing but JD. So now if I consider J plus JD in both the cases, okay, so where we have the conduction current in this case and displacement current in this case, so that, so here J is 0, JD will exist, and here JD is 0, J will exist, so that we can have the current which is enclosed. Okay, so this is what we are going to get, and we can modify this displacement current in terms of the rate of change of charge, so that we know that JD in terms of the flux density which is del D by del T. Okay, so now if I take that, so on the surface 2, so this the differential term if I take outside, so this D dot ds, now from Gauss law we know that this one is nothing but the Q, which is the total charge enclosed on the surface, so which is nothing but again I. So in this case, so this displacement current exists, so that will ensure that there is a current which is flowing. So but in this case there is a conduction current which is flowing, and it ensures that, so there is a current flowing through the conductor on the that is closed loop or the surface S1. So this is how we have to include the displacement current and the conduction current for a particular scenario, and where there is a time varying field. Okay, so this is what about the displacement current. So let us take one problem based on this displacement current. So how we can find out the displacement current and corresponding so fields. So now take this problem. Okay, so we have in free space, okay, so where we have E which is equal to 20 cos of omega t minus 50x into AY volt per meter. So this is what in free space E is given. So it is only variation with respect to x, you can see here, so that is very important, and it is time varying. So now we have to calculate the displacement current, density JD, and the corresponding magnetic field, intensity, and the omega, that is the angular frequency. So this is what we need to find out from this. So let us find out this one, how we can able to find out. So now I'll just tell you the hint. So we know that JD which is equal to del D by del T. So now we know that D which is equal to epsilon naught E. So now we can take out epsilon naught and we differentiate with respect to T E. So try to differentiate and tell me the answer. What is the value? So we can substitute it, epsilon naught into, so d by dt of 20 cos of omega t minus 50x. Okay, differentiate with respect to t, so we will going to get 20 epsilon naught, so cos, so if you differentiate cos with respect to t, we will going to get sine of omega t minus 50x, okay, into omega. So this term we have to differentiate. So we are going to get minus 20 epsilon naught omega sine of omega t minus 50x. Okay, so now this is what the displacement current density we are going to get. So A in the direction of AY, ampere per meter square. Okay, so now similarly, so we find out so H. So from this equation, we know from this equation, that is del cross H equal to J plus JD. Assume that J conduction current is 0. Okay, so we can get that the del cross H, which is equal to JD. Okay, so now, so since JD, okay, so try to do it this one. So JD we know, so just now we have find out, that is minus 20 epsilon naught omega in the direction of AY, minus 20 epsilon naught omega sin of omega t minus 50x in the direction of AY. Okay, so but we know here, so del cross H is nothing but AX, AY, AZ, del by del X, del by del Y, del by del Z, Hx, Hy and Hz. Okay, so now we can see here, so only with respect to Y we have to do, because it is having the AY vector. So the displacement current, it is in the direction of AY vector. So if I take only the AY vector, so this one, the del cross H, which is equal to, so del by del X of Hz minus del by del Z of Hx. So this is in the direction of AY. So that is equal to minus 20 epsilon naught omega sin of omega t minus 50x, so in the direction of AY. Okay, so now you can see here, so since there is a variation with respect to only x, whatever we got, even E, which is only with respect to x it is there, so this component only it will exist. So there is no variation with respect to z, so this will go to 0. So that's why we are going to get del by del x of Hz, so in the direction of AY, which is equal to minus 20 epsilon naught omega sin of omega t minus 50x, so in the direction of AY. So now we can, so if I want to get the H, so you need to get integrate with respect to x. So we will going to get, so the result for H, that is minus 20 epsilon naught omega sin of omega t minus 50x, so into dx. So differentiate with respect to x, so we will going to get minus 20 epsilon naught omega. So if I differentiate with respect, integrate with respect to x, so what we will get? Sin, which is nothing but cos of omega t minus 50x, so this divided by minus 50. So we will going to get, so 2 by 5, which is 0.4 epsilon naught omega cos of omega t minus 50x. So this is what your H, or you can write Hz because only the Z component. Okay, is it understood? Any doubt in this? So now find out the omega. So third one we have to find out omega. Okay, so for this we'll use del cross E, so which is equal to minus mu into, so del Hz divided by del T. We can use this equation and we can, so this del cross E, so which is again, so it is a variation with respect to y, so only we'll take the y component, ax, ay, az, del by del x, del by del y, del by del z, ex, ey, ez. So if I take this one, so what you will going to get? So the only the y component, so which is del by del x of ez minus del by del z of ex. Okay. So now which is equal to, so we will take the free space where mu r equal to 1, assume that in the free space mu r equal to 1 and mu equal to mu naught. Okay. So now if I take that one, mu naught into, so del hz by del t, with respect to t if we differentiate, you will going to get 0.4 epsilon naught omega. So if I differentiate again, it will become omega square into, so cos differentiation minus sine, so we will going to get plus sine of omega t minus 50x. Okay. So this is what we will going to get the z component. So this is what hz component. So in the direction of, so ay. Sorry, so here since the hz component is there, so this is, so we need to take the, so z component here. So the del cross E, which is the z component we have to take, and we have to equate. So not the y component, so the z component. So since the h is having z component, we have to take the ez component. So that we need to take. So take the ez component and we have to do. Okay, that is, so ax, ay, az, del by del x, del by del y, del by del z, ex, ey, ez. Okay, so this is, so del cross E, so which is equal to minus mu into del by del t of hz. Okay, so now if you take the z component, okay, so we will going to get del by del x of ey minus del by del y of ex. Okay, so which is equal to, so this is az component, so which is equal to again minus mu, which will we will assume it as a free space, mu naught into del by del t of, so hz whatever we got, 0.4 epsilon naught omega. So differentiate hz, we will going to get omega square into, okay, so let us differentiate omega only. So one more steps we will write, cos of omega t minus 50x. So let us write one more step. So now we have, so only the ez component, so that is, sorry, so here whatever we took earlier it is correct, so that is ez del by del x of ez and del by del z of ex. So this will go to 0, the ez component is remaining, that is del by del x of ez, okay, so which is equal to the differentiation of this, that is mu naught into 0.4 epsilon naught, so omega square into minus sine of omega t minus 50x. Okay, so now ez component, so we'll just differentiate this ez component where we have earlier, that is in the problem. So ez component with respect to x, so that is del by del x of, so whatever E which is given, 20 cos of omega t minus 50x. So this is given, so with respect to x we have to differentiate. Here you will get minus into minus plus mu naught into 0.4 epsilon naught omega square into sine of omega t minus 50x. So this is what you will going to get, and differentiation with respect to x we will going to get, so 20 into minus 20 sine of omega t minus 50x into t minus 50 with respect to x. So this will be equal to mu naught epsilon naught into 0.4 omega square into sine of omega t minus 50x. So now this sign will get cancel each other both the sides, so we'll left out with 1000, which is equal to mu naught epsilon naught into 0.4 omega square. So now omega square, which is equal to 1000 divided by the 0.4 epsilon naught mu naught. So this is what the value we are going to get, square root of 1000 divided by 0.4 mu naught epsilon naught. So find out the value. So here, so whatever we actually got ay component only, so that is correct only. So here we have to take the ay component, so we'll get del by del x of Ez and del by del z of Ex. So there is no, so with respect to z variation, only with respect to x variation is there, so we'll get Ez component. So that if you substitute here, so we will going to get del by del x of Ez, so which is equal to minus mu into del by del t of Hz. So that if I equate, so then we will going to get the equation for omega. So find out the value of omega. So find out the value of omega. Can anybody do? So this is again 1000 divided by 0.4 into mu naught is 4.2 10 power minus 7, so that into epsilon naught 8.82 into 10 power minus 12. Find out the value of omega. So done this value. Hello. Obviously, Deepika, Shilpa, what is the value? Hello, anybody done? Jahnavi?
Doing, sir.
Okay, so that if you find out that value, so that is the value of the omega. Okay. So now we will summarize what are all the time varying fields of the Maxwell's equation. Okay. So we have summarized the Maxwell's equation for the time varying, that is the static field. So we will do the final form of the Maxwell's equation for even it will apply for time varying case as well as the static case. So that is Maxwell's equations final form. Okay, so that is in the differential form and the integral form. So the divergence equation that doesn't vary, only the curl equation will going to vary, that is del dot D, which is equal to rho v. So that is, so known the divergence equation doesn't vary, so which is d dot ds, so which is equal to the surface integral, which is equal to the volume integral of rho v into dv. So this is unchanged from the Gauss law, we know that. Okay, and even del dot b, which is equal to 0, so that is divergence equation doesn't change. So here b dot ds, which is equal to 0. So this is actually the non-existence of the isolated magnetic charges. Okay. And we have, so the curl equation del cross E, which is equal to minus del B by del T. Okay, and we have the integral form, which is E dot dl, so which is equal to minus del B by, so that is del by del T of integral B dot ds. So this is what Faraday's law, so we have done. And your final equation del cross H, which is equal to J plus del D by del T. So this is actually the contribution of Maxwell's, the displacement current, which is equal to H dot dl. So that is integral of H dot dl. Okay, so which is equal to the, okay, so minus J integral of surface J plus del D by del T. So that is what the integral form into the surface differential surface area. So this is the modification of your Ampere circuits law. Okay, so this is what the final form of the Maxwell's equations. Okay, so any doubt in this? No? Anybody? Even so many other equations which are already discussed, that is boundary conditions, and even the material equations for conductor dielectrics, where sigma, which is 0 and infinity for conductor and dielectrics. So that and all we have discussed, all are associated within these equations. Okay. If the conditions satisfying these equations, then there is an electromagnetic field which is propagating. So that is what the final form of the Maxwell's equation. Okay, so any doubt or anything? So if you don't get, you can ask even in the problem. So any problem, if you don't get, you can ask. So we'll stop here. So we'll continue in the next class.